you are having a great session so far. And let's continue the dialogue. And can we give a big round of applause for all the panelists who are here? And can I request if we can just start with a very brief introduction about yourself and something interesting which is, it's not on the social media.
No need to declude the names and the company and all that. I've been in this field for almost now 40 years. And one thing which is not on the social media is this was not a profession by choice. And I think we'll speak about it as we go. Uh, I had joined a company in 1984 in Bhiwadi on 27th October and 38th October, Indira Gandhi was assassinated. It was a company owned by Sikhs, and 3 management trainees were put on the dock to manage the company for 3 months. That's what led me into this field to come in and enjoy what I'm doing right now. That was the first time I understood 20, 40 years ago, is there a thing called operations, facility management, whatever we called it. So now I rechristened it as workplace enablement 6 years ago when I joined Thornton. That's what it is.
Thank you so much. Arun?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Arun. Been in the industry for over 2 decades now, and I think as Sanjay mentioned, I think most of us has been into this field by accident. I think I got into it because somebody who was handling it could not be there for some time, and I had to kind of fill in his shoes. So you asked about something which is not there on the social media, and which is unique thing about individual. I think anticipation has become a part of our life. So one thing I would say is this, that we've been as leaders, and I think what we've been able to do is, as part of a function, to anticipate things. That's what I think we need to do, and which I think probably my team always says that probably I think all good things, bad things, anticipate earlier. So I think maybe I'm going to go with their statement which they have been making. From a facility experience standpoint, I would like to share one experience. I was in the industry for only about a year. And Thursday evening, I decided that I have to get married. And Sunday was the day. And being in the industry for 1 year, I think I didn't have anybody to kind of look up to. And believe you me, Sunday morning I got married. Sunday evening was the reception of 500 people. And people like you who were around, who were there as part of my seniors, juniors, supporters who were there. So this function per se is not only an extension to the organization, it's an extension to the personal effects as well to all of us. So that has been, I think, the wonderful thing for each one of us to kind of cherish for our life. So thank you. Thank you.
So I am Captain Sudeep Ghoshal. I mean, by the name itself, you can make out that I'm an ex-Fauji, and that happens to be my pride and my first love. And I openly tell this to my wife also. So she comes second after Fauj. So yeah, so that's about my prior to coming to the corporate world. In the corporate world, I have been there for last 20 years plus now. And I was very excited about this 40 under 40. At least I can consider myself under 40 for at least this one day. So yeah, that was one of the reasons I actually thought of coming here and joining rest of the panelists. And as far as facilities is concerned, unlike my other co-panelists, I am someone who joined it out of choice. So when I actually left Army way back in 2003, that time the perception in the corporate world was Fauji, he is good for security. And I did not want to get into that. I was like, no, I have to break this. I cannot get into just a security role. It can be part of my profile, but I don't want to. So that is how I came into this field by choice. It was not by accident or by force.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ajay. And like my friend to my left, I'm also an ex-army soldier. I served in the army for about 10 years, from 89 to 99. And since 99, I've been in the corporate sector and primarily doing what we are going to talk about today. Like Sanjay, I also sort of landed into doing facility management. When I quit the army, the choices were very limited at that time. And some of the young people who are sitting out here, I would like to tell you that at that time, the internet and the LinkedIns were not there at all. 99, 2000, I'm saying. And the jobs, I think my first job, I literally had to take my CV and go to one of the consultants, give my CV to them, and look for a job. Right now, things have really moved on, and as we go ahead into this conversation, we'll see how this field has really opened up in last more than 20 years. So yeah, I had a choice either to get into the HR, security, or the administration and facility management field, and I chose to be into facility management. From there, good opportunities kept coming up, and I think most of us here have ridden a high wave. From 2000 onwards, at least till the Lehman Brothers happened in 2008 and 9, we all rode a high wave, and a lot of opportunities kept coming to us. We had never heard of facility management then. Thanks to the IPCs, who started to set their foot into India and doing some serious business around property management and facility management, we started to grow ourselves as well. And that time we also did not have too many places to go and learn facility management the way we have now. I've been extremely fortunate to have been into growth industries, from telecom to financial industry to an IPC, and of course in the power and renewable sector now, again, which is a growth industry. So I'm thankful to this profession. Right, when I dreamt of going out into a new field out of the army, and like he said, first love and everything. I think if you cut our blood, it is not green. It is not red. It is green. So to come out and when you actually know nothing about it, I think this industry and this profession has been extremely kind to me. And something that you will not find on the social media about me is I'm a fitness enthusiast. I do cycling, I do motorcycling, I do a lot of sports. That is primarily to keep myself fit physically, mentally, to get some good chemicals flowing into me, especially on the Saturdays and Sundays. When I go to my office on a Monday, I'm actually very tired, not fresh. However, there are a lot of good chemicals that will take me through, the week ahead. So just a bit about me, and let's go forward from here.
Thank you. Thank you. I think what we will also do is that if you've got any questions, just raise your hand. We'll not wait till the end, given we've got limited time for the session. So if there is something, just let me know in between, and we'll surely take those questions. So just to kick off, the topic, I just thought I wanted to share this quote from Mr. Oberoi, Mr. Vicky Oberoi, and he said that, good service is how you treat a guest. Your smile, your warmth, and your desire to go the extra mile to make the guest feel special. And I think that the field of facilities management is such that, the facility managers, they touch each and every aspect of real estate. And then they are now one of the key, teams to really give the best-in-class experience and service to the colleagues and associates who come to workplace. So I thought this was very, very relevant from that perspective. And just to kick off again, and if we start, in terms of your experiences, in terms of how the talent landscape has changed within the FM industry, and then what are the ways you are looking at training and upskilling, the FM professionals within your own areas.
So just taking on from where I left, I think over a period of time, I have seen the talent which was coming into the FM industry primarily were 3-4 kinds of people. Somebody who was coming from the forces, because you're supposed to be a strong administrator, right? And then you learn the rest of the things. There were hoteliers, on the soft services side. I think there is no one better than a hotelier, and we ourselves have to learn, a lot from them. The third kind of people were the engineers, right? And because if you see facility management, if you see the softer side, which is the tenant side, and you see the property management side, which is the hardcore, technical side, you definitely need, a lot of engineering mind to manage such huge installations. So these were 3, 4 kinds of people who were coming in. But quite frankly, I would say that, and I'm making a bold statement, correct me if I'm wrong, that for an electrical engineer from a premier institute, this may still not be, one of the careers for choice, right? He may like to look into, my kind of current industry, to get into a power industry, do big things, renewables, and perhaps do transmissions. But somehow, all the blue everything kept coming in from here. And of course, then, over a period of time, the IPCs, also came in. And 3, 4 major IPCs that we've seen around, a lot of talent, started to grow, from there as well. In fact, I took a personal call. I have been on the client side, but I said, how can I accelerate my learning? So I took a very judicious call of getting into one of the IPCs, and I spent almost about 5 years there. And one of my ex-colleagues also happens to be here. And quite frankly, when I went there, it was a very different kind of a challenge. And you were sitting, I was rubbing shoulders with one of the best in the industry, right? And my learning, I actually had to unlearn for what I had learned on the other side, to really relearn as to, what was coming from, the other end. That's where, we also started to, for the first time, I started to, you learn how to, sell a product. You will do solution development. You will go to a client, you will sell solutions to them. And then I realized that how difficult it is actually to do sales and all, right? But when you capture a sales, what a great experience it happens to be. And that's when we learned about, P&L and everything. So coming to, I think, the current scenario, I really don't know what much has changed as of now as far as the intake is concerned. I was talking to my talent acquisition head. There's a lot of hiring that we do. And quite frankly, the talent acquisition of your organization does not have a great strategy to, get the best talent into facility management, verticals. He would come down to me, sir, aap itne saal se ho is industry mein, why don't you get some good professionals yourself, right? So that's how this industry has, grown over a period of time. I think it is also a lot of people like me and across sitting and on the panel as well. We have been quite instrumental in, growing this industry ourselves. And these seminars are again, very good platform to, get some good talent as well.
I'll go slightly earlier. So when I say slightly earlier, maybe to our parents' generation. And I feel that was the time when the Industrial Revolution took place and people were coming to work just for survival. And when we stepped in, maybe our generation people, we were the ones who are striving for our standard of living. Maybe we wanted to improve our standard. What we saw, for them it was survival and, getting that roti for the family. For us, it became improve your standards, go to a better house, have a vehicle for yourselves and all. Now, and I would say that was very much in line with the information technology revolution that we were going through. And now with the digital revolution and the social revolution, the current generation, they are not bothered about standard of living, or they are not. What they want is quality of work, quality of life, and that is what they are looking up to. They are very ambitious. I have been interacting with some of the younger colleagues out here who have much higher, ambitions and expectations of what I had at their age, maybe. So that is how it has changed. Coming to your second question about how one can, train and upskill your own team members or maybe someone from the team, I would try to correlate this with my army experience or the battlefield experiences that we have had. So in army, you join your academy, you have your instructors, they are like your mentors. So the first thing that we can do as HOD or as a senior guy in the industry, that we try to pick and choose the best out of the team members, mentor him, So mentoring, I'll say, should be the first thing. And when we do mentoring, it can be a one-to-one session with that person, giving him his, candid opinion about his work, performance, everything. It can be good, bad, everything, so that he knows where he has to improve. Second, I would say is, I would call it as shadowing. Shadowing, wherein, we as youngsters, when we joined a battalion, we were made a company second in command or a company officer, wherein we had a company commander who was actually managing the entire people. So we used to look up to him, we used to follow him, and so when I talk about shadowing in the corporate world, I would say that you pick and choose that particular person whom you have been mentoring, take him along with you, and in shadowing also there will be three phases wherein you allow him to see your way of functioning, then both of you are doing the work together, involve him in your work, and third, you give him the task and you look at him how he is doing it, right? So that is maybe how we can develop our next generation people. So this is the second thing. The third thing would be, again, role play. So now after he has shadowed you, now let him do the role play, wherein he is independently given the role charge. So again, in the defense forces, we have something called as field ranks, wherein, because of scarcity of officers, once you go to the field area, you have to manage the responsibility of a higher rank. So same way here also, you give that person certain, you can keep delegating certain projects or roles and let him do it independently, so that you can see how he's communicating, what are his capabilities, and how he's performing. And there you can also judge whether he has to be upskilled or not. So that will be the third point. Fourth one will be teach and learn, wherein you send him for certain programs, certain, such events, programs, do certain courses. And once he has learned about it, let him come back and teach the rest of the team, so that again he is fresh in his mind what he has learned, and he is also imbibing it to his rest of the team members. So again, he gains confidence that, okay, now I have learned it, I can also imbibe and teach this to others. So that will help him to grow in his path. And the last one, of course, will be coaching. Now, why I'm saying coaching? Because everywhere people are like, most of us feel that mentoring and coaching is the same. But mentoring, I would say, is like more of wherein we share our own experiences with our team members, and try to provide solutions from what we had done during our times for a certain situation. And coaching, I would say, will involve more of asking questions to these guys. You keep questioning them, and ask them what you would do in this space, how you would communicate, how you would tackle this situation, what is the solution that you are going to provide. So that will also help the person in front to understand his capabilities, and he will come up with solutions. So that is how you develop your next in line, maybe within the organization. And these same guys, you should be, have a heart enough to let them go out of your fold and join other organizations.
No, so nicely put. I think, in terms of the on-the-job training, coaching, mentoring, letting your team members come and attend such kind of conferences and online learning. So I think this covers the complete gamut of, how one can go about developing talent. Arun, do you want to add something?
Been into the IT industry throughout my career, so I think I will only kind of relate to my own industry, and I can talk about that. See, for us, I think for 2000 onwards, if we talk about every 5 years, 4 years, I think the scenario was changing from logistics to facilities to compliance to, then became admin and personnel kind of a thing started coming, and then people talking about, we used to have two function at end of 2010 or something like that. So, according to me, if I have to give something, at first I think we need to accept the fact that there is a next generation, if in case you want to do it, as Ajay was also mentioning, that it only happen if we kind of take a step back and then probably would do it. Adaptability is the key out here, I think, according to me. We have been the leaders out here because, that there has been a scenarios where we know how it works. But trust me when I say this to you, I think things change very frequently and very dynamic in nature. So for us to take a back seat and then probably have the younger generation kind of take a lead out of it, make a mix of things which is happening out there. I can only speak from my experience, which has worked for me. In last 5 years, I think probably the way we've been able to evolve, adapt, is only because of the fact that, we had younger blood into the system, and probably they were given more opportunity to kind of work it. There is no fixed rule per se. There is no book which we follow as far as our own function is concerned. But of course, as mentors, Sanjay's been there for so long, and I'm sure he knows more than us what we're talking about today. But I think the legacy continued because they kept on passing the knowledge sharing happened to them. So these kind of sessions really helps for everybody to kind of do it. I'm also there with one of my two team members out here. But the fact remains that we have to pass on this legacy, and I'm sure they need to kind of recreate their own canvas and then start drawing their own thing. It doesn't really make a difference if in case how they draw. Everybody has their own eye to look at things. So that's where Generation X, Generation Y, and whatever we talk about that, they have to be looked at in a different manner altogether. So the meaning of facility management, as I think we were discussing, the other day as well, it doesn't really matter how we've been perceiving things out by there. It is about how people are going to perceive things 5 years down the line. So as when Sameer was also presenting, he also was talking about the same thing. Gone are the days when we used to think that how the facility we would like to, what amenities are people are looking at. I don't know. They have a different meaning altogether of amenities today. They're not looking at anything which is related to physical and other things. So the aspect relatively has changing practically every 2 quarters. Forget about year. So I think we need to kind of stay alive, stay focused with the next generation coming and kind of helping us to kind of do better for our organization. So that's my take on this. So yeah, so back to you, buddy.
Thanks, Arun. Sanjay.
I think everything got covered. What to do, how to train, what can we do to do it, and I think everybody does all those things. But the key is, where is the talent going? Why is it not coming there? That's the question all of us have to ponder in. So where does the talent look to come in? I think we covered it up in saying ki gone are the days where somebody looks at only roti. It is my bread and butter. It's now a challenge that I have to face. It's now the value that I have to add to the organization. It's how I am respected in that field is where the talent will get it. So I think I would not dwell upon who's coming in and how do we train the people. I would rather dwell upon what as leaders we should be doing to attract talent here. I think the first thing is make the role challenging. Make it known. Facility management, according to me, is no longer what is called as a facility management. Underneath, a lot of us talked about it. You said maintenance, then you said plumbing, then you say housekeeping. Everything is included as a gamut under the facility management. So we have to tell the young talent, whoever we are trying to get in, and even the existing team members, is you are in for a executive role where decisions are to be made by your inputs and advisors. I think the first thing is that to make it absolutely challenging. Define the clear deliverables from the role which is there. Something, I don't know how often when you say the talent acquisition team needs to get a facility management, are we able to define? Are we able to tell him what he is supposed to deliver? That's the first thing we should do it. Then coaching, probably coaching is one foot. The other thing is who is there in your internal team? How can you promote them up? Again, mentoring, coaching, shadowing, being a pal. I also add one thing to it, which is called the psychological safety. You should give them the freedom to speak their mind. I remember I telling one of my juniors at some point of time and said, why are you looking at again? Why reinvent the wheel? So the answer came back, sir, if everything is to run on wheel, where will the magnetic leviathan come in? How will the bullet trains run? So the idea which Arun also said that let them do the new ways. Allow them to take that risks and tell them that this is what is in for you. If you are doing this, this is the value you are adding. And it is up to us to go back to the management and say, hey, this is not just a team which is a supporting team. I call them enablement team now. Without this, your business will not survive. No business will survive without what is called as, you may call it facilities management, workplace services, you may call it MEP, this, that. It is an enablement function, that is it. And we should talk, we should encourage the team down below to proudly talk about the role that they are doing. I have seen people saying, I'm a part of the operations team. Hurry, please talk about what you do. Last time I had, in few of the conferences, I met the housekeeping head of PVR. she talks about the function like, it's a Padma Bhushan for her. And the team down below, you go down to PVR, and I asked them some of the questions that she said. Everybody down the line understands what the leader was saying. So I think that's one more way to attract talent, to retain talent, and to make them grow in this field is to do that. And as team, I would suggest the younger people are there. Be prepared to take the challenge. Just don't say it's a job that I go and do and come back. Every day I make a difference. We had a coin term which is called EDIMAD. Every day I make a difference. Every day I add value. And I think we also heard ESG coming up. Now ESG is to come under workplace enablement. Why do you say ESG is an expert who will come that we understand what is to be done, how it is to be implemented? The experts have to come outside and we have to tell them what we want them to do. So for the leaders as well as people to understand, we should be continuously upscaling ourselves. I should be aware what is happening tomorrow or what is going to happen tomorrow. I just can't say and relax back and say, okay, that's all, fine, thank you. I am now in relaxed mode. Even at this point where I actually learn every day from the team down below on what they have to say. Small things like how my offices are occupied, what is the percentage of occupancy, is being discussed today within the CEO and the CHRO to say, how do I define my policy on work from home, work from anywhere and all that. So it's not that my input is not leading to that decision. I think that's what's very important for us to recognize and tell the team down below and the new talent that we are trying to acquire and get into this field is to say, you are not just somebody, you are a part of the executive decision that we take. Other than that, I think the team needs to be able to refer back, talk within the group. I was also, sorry, I'm taking a little extra time, but I'm also wanting to understand where is the courses that we talk about are coming in. I heard say Spain and Germany is offering the courses, where in India we are doing so. I actually went to a college and said, I want to give a guest lecture free of cost on facilities management, which you were saying, and they sent me a curriculum which was more of HR. I think that's one more thing we should do that. So for the leaders and for the team, this is where attracting and finding talent and improving talent, these are some of the actions that will help us do so in the industry.
If I can just add on to this, and I will just take about 30 seconds. I think first of all, let's start looking at ourselves like Sanjay said, business enablers. Some of the people I have seen over a period of time that, oh, we are a support function, right? Hum to sales ke samne kya karenge? I mean, don't have a defeatist attitude, please. Right? You are there for a certain task. Please take pride in, taking that task. And that is a message that you send down to complete teams. A motivated team will always deliver you, more than 100%. And delivery, 100% delivery is no delivery. You need to keep asking yourself, more and more. Let me give a very small example here. In one of the organizations, we used to have a lot of offices across the country. And, we said that we will start with a small office, then we will sort of upgrade it and blah, blah, blah. But there was no method to it. So when I joined this organization, a lot of, sales folks started coming to me and said, boss, humne 3 saal pehle office start kiya tha. We started with a small office. It should have been upgraded. My sales targets have gone up and so and so. So I just sat with the team and I said, okay, we will make, 3 sort of offices, a silver, gold and a platinum. The moment, branch head goes beyond a certain target, he will not have to come back to me asking that I need an upgrade of office. I know that what trajectory is he going at. I know all the 250 offices at to what trajectory are they going at, and when is it that he will reach his target, and when is it that he will start coming to me asking for an office. So I must have my plan already ready, duly put in my AOP, duly signed up. And before this guy comes to me, I must go to him and say, hey, you deserve it better, and here is a new office. On the contrary, if you are empowered, you know your business. Let's say in 2 of my organization, I to understand the life of a sales folks, I used to go out selling with them so that when they come back into the office, what kind of a mindset is he coming back with? And especially when, he has met so many people who have said no to him. And that's when your soft services, really come in very handy to him. Is he being welcomed back into the office or not? Does he get a good hot cup of tea and a cold glass of water? And I would take pride, taking care of him. So there were some, business leaders who had not met their targets. And when I used to go to them and I used to ask them, "Kitna target hua tumhara? Zara bataiye." Right? Imagine, a sales guy sitting in front of head of facilities or head of CRE talking about his business. But to do that, you really have to work very closely with, your FP&A teams, your sales folks, so that you get that kind of acceptability in an organization that he is, one of the senior folks in the organization who can do something good for you.
Some really excellent points. Thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause? Thank you so much.